A warm welcome to Disky Talk with Luyolo. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I ask that you please subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you've been a part of this journey, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this episode. So, on today's episode, we discuss all things Coach's Corner English Premier League. Returning guest, she goes by the name of Koketso. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you, Leona?
All is well. And to the right of me, I've got a new guest, new man on the podcast. Goes by the name of Tuchel. How are you, bro?
I'm well, thanks, and yourself?
All is well. And as always, I am your host with the most, and I go by the name of Luyolo. So let's get straight into it. We will discuss the top four of last season, being Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United. So we will start with Chelsea. What do you guys make of Thomas Tuchel and how well he's done in such a short space of time with Chelsea? I'll start with you, Tony.
Personally, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Because as where Chelsea was with Frank Lampard, it was Chelsea that was not really doing good. It had all the money that they spent in the summer.
Yeah.
It had all the players that they wanted. The coach also wanted.
Yeah.
However, they were not gelling. Something was not on. And then this guy came in Jan. Fast forward to June, he's a Champions League winner. I'm thoroughly impressed because now it not only speaks to him as a coach, but also it speaks about the reset button that Chelsea can pull and be like, okay, this is not working out. Let's get a new guy. Let's get a guy that can win us trophies and win us trophies now, not in the next building 2 years phase, not in the next 3 years. Win us trophies now. So personally, Thomas Tuchel, I'm thoroughly impressed by him.
Yeah. What do you make of his time at Chelsea so far?
I agree with him. With Thomas Tuchel, he came in at such a short amount. Short amount of period, but he managed to win a Champions League and he managed to stay unbeaten against Pep Guardiola, which was the number one coach in the Premier League. So it was very impressive, and him actually starting a new formation, like three defenders and with wing backs there.
Yeah.
That was, and first of all, that's a bold statement. You coming in middle of the season, changing formations, and a bold formation at that, and you have the confidence enough to be like, even if I lose, this is my system. I'm coming in, but it worked out.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely impressed.
So I love that you mentioned that with regards to Thomas Tuchel. So he is actually known to be a very confident and very brave man.
Yeah.
He sticks to his guns and that's it. Even at PSG, when he upset the apple cart with the sporting director, he didn't care.
Yeah.
That's the type of coach he is. He's going to go with what he knows works for him. That's it. If he fails, he fails.
Well,
if it's a success, it's a success. So with regards to, you mentioned the three at the back with Chelsea. So one thing I want us to have a look at, let's take a trip down memory lane. Every time a coach has come in at Chelsea and played a back three, they found success. Antonio Conte was the first one.
Yeah.
So I think it speaks to Chelsea's squad. I think they've got a very good squad that actually is very suitable to that wing-back system with the three at the back. And I think a lot of other managers who've come in, you mentioned Lampard earlier on, who he went with the back four. At times, they didn't really look comfortable. So I think then in Thomas Tuchel, you have a manager who's very experienced, A, B, tactically flexible, C, he understands himself as a manager and he understands players. So he understood very well that, okay, this team is actually set up for a three at the back with the wing backs and the three players up front. So I've quite enjoyed you mentioned Pep also. I've quite enjoyed the duels that he's had with Pep in such a short spell of time. In 3 games he's already outmastered him 3 times.
Crazy.
And that you have Pep on pins and needles when he's now changing everything and
going crazy.
He's going crazy. He doesn't know now what he must do. So I think he's been a breath of fresh air into the Premier League. Something different, something which is very exciting. And what I love about him is that his teams are so difficult to play against, and that was in his opening statement. that I'm going to make a team that nobody wants to play against.
And it's so crazy for me because it's the same team that Frank Lampard had, but he managed to produce more than Frank Lampard. I don't understand.
I think also it speaks to his. I've seen when they won the Champions League, even after every game when they win, it speaks about his man management, where he goes and hugs all these players, where he celebrates with the fans, with the players, and everybody involved, the technical team, the coaching staff around him. So I think that plays a role in the success of the squad in the short space of time. Obviously, he's proven himself, but once you're at the top, it gets hard to stay there. You understand? So it's about him then now staying there. So, but I've been thoroughly impressed with him.
He's been very impressive. So I want us to then have a look at the squad that he has. We do know that he's in the window and he's looking for a couple of players to strengthen the squad. What do you guys make of Chelsea's squad going into the next season?
Personally, I think that Chelsea, they spent over 200 million last season. You understand? So they had to win something.
Yeah.
They just had a bad coach. Sorry, Frank Lampard, you're a legend, but you're not good at this thing. So they had a bad coach. But so he came in and he used the 200 million to good effect. You understand? And going into the next season, I think defensively they need to look at the future. So Kirk Zuma and who's this? Kirk Zuma and Thiago Silva. They're aging players, especially Thiago Silva. He's an aging player, so they can look into strengthening that. But going forward, I think they're quite solid. They can bring in a player or two, and then they'll be fine. Yeah.
What do you make of that squad?
I agree with them, right? And for me, I'm interested to see more of Mason Mount again. He had a breakout season, and I can only hope that he'll improve, right? And I don't know. For me, as just a personal favorite player from Chelsea, who's this kid who came from? Okay, it's not a kid, from Ajax.
Oh, Ziyech.
Exactly. I'd like to see more of him. We didn't see enough because of his injury. So I'd love to see him, get more minutes. And they already lost Giroud, but I don't think it damages the squad. It's just like, okay, the depth is not there, but we can manage, and we have young players now. Let's build a squad.
Do you think Giroud needs to be replaced?
No. Okay. I don't think so.
I think so. And I say that because, when you look at Chelsea, I don't know, can you bank on Timo Werner getting you the 20 to 25 plus goals?
No, it's proven not. So
that's the biggest thing with Chelsea, because we all know that if you're gonna win,
Giroud was the consistent one.
Yeah, if you're gonna win a lot of trophies, I just think you need a goal scorer. You need a goal scorer. Yes, we've seen the evolution of football. We're seeing the false nine. But I'm a bit traditional and old school when it comes to the striking department. I want a number 9 who scores goals.
Yeah.
And you need somebody that's going to get you the difficult goals. The goals that nobody is going to get.
I guess.
And Giroud has proven from the Arsenal days and going to Chelsea that he's the guy to get you those. Even in France, he can get you those scorpion goals.
Out of nothing.
Get you the header goals. So he's the guy. So I think he needs to be replaced. But they need to look into getting somebody maybe younger, somebody that can grow into the role, and be guided towards being the number 9.
But my thing with that is they already have young strikers anyways. Like Timo Werner, I think he's not that old. If you are going to replace him, rather get like an aging or an experienced, let me say a seasoned striker who can actually teach these youngsters how to play, and then from there.
But I have to disagree with you and agree with him. And I say that because if you look at the striking options, right? There's Timo Werner, and then now you have Tammy Abraham. But Abraham is not being used. And we know that he has been linked with a couple of moves to Aston Villa, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of teams who are interested in him. And Tuchel made it was clear that he's not in the plans, So then if you take away, if Abraham does get his move, then the striking department starts to look a bit thin then.
But there's another guy, no? It's not just Timo Werner. Is there another guy? Is it just Timo Werner?
As a number 9, as a traditional number 9.
Okay,
not your half.
Not a forward.
Not a forward. I'm talking about as a number 9.
It's just Timo Werner, fair.
So I then in that regard, then I would think he'd have to. But anyway, so This next question can be quite the controversial one because it's a very early season, before the season is even kicked off. But a prediction: where do you guys think Chelsea finish within top 4?
100%.
Oh, why am I even saying top 4? What if they? What if you guys think they'll finish number 10?
In the
like
league.
this guy's out here saying top 4.
I think Chelsea getting anything under 1 and 2 will be an underachievement. The reason I'm saying this is because, firstly, the pedestal has been set. So you've won the Champions League with the team that you've had. The transfer window is open. You probably the Russian guys are probably going to give you money for you to spend and play around with. So now you need to then go out there. Your goal is to beat Pep Guardiola. To the league. Your goal out there is not to beat Ole, to beat whoever's there, Brendan Rodgers, whoever's there.
Yeah,
Fair. Your goal is to get there and beat Pep Guardiola. So achieving anything other than 1 and 2 will be an underachievement. So I'm saying Chelsea will maybe get 2. Not 1, 2. If not 1, 2.
Yeah. What do you make of it?
I agree with him, right? Definitely not number 1, but definitely 2. I agree with him because they've set the standard now. Like, okay, you guys are Champions League winners. You guys have, Tuchel has never lost against Pep. What now?
And it's crazy to think that Tuchel, in such a short space of time, he's done so much. And yes, he did say that he wants to create a team that is difficult to play against. And right now, you're looking at a team that is the most difficult to play against. And if he maintains that, and the squad grows a lot more and they gel, and we see a Ziyech coming into the fold, and if they're able to add 1 or 2 quality players, I've got that unpopular opinion to say these guys could actually win the league by virtue of the fact that they're difficult to play against, and not because that they will blow teams away 5-0, 4-0 every week, but they know how to defend 1 goal. And that's one of the symptoms of being a champion. You know how to defend a 1-goal lead. So it's just if they continue in this vein, I just don't see them not achieving things in the upcoming season. Yes, Pep might have a better squad. Yes, you might argue Liverpool have a couple of better players, but with Tuchel at the helm, it changes the whole perspective. Like, it's just, I can't find the words for it,
I think with Chelsea and Tuchel, the only thing that might be an Achilles heel is the experience. And when I mean the experience, I'm not only talking about the experience that players have, which your Mason Mount are still young, and your Timo Werner, they just got into the league and whatnot. But what I mean about experience as well is the experience about being around each other. Which compared to Pep, those players have been around each other for years now.
Definitely.
So in order for him to get into the line, I think that might be the one of a few things that might be an Achilles heel. Understand? But I agree with you to a certain extent.
Like it's man, they're so difficult to play against, and if you can't score against a team, like you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win the game. It's just so obvious. And what he does with that Chelsea squad and how he plays, it's so compact, yet he has so much width with the wing backs, and I only see them growing from strength to strength. That Champions League win for me was so important, not because of historical values, not because of status,
just
but for the confidence of the team
and him,
and also against who?
Exactly.
Against who?
Yeah.
Also, that plays a psychological mind game towards the next season.
Exactly.
To say, guys, Chelsea, this is going to be a very exciting English Premier League season. So moving on then, so from London, we go to Manchester, a club that Shoki and I dearly love and will die on that hill, is Manchester United. So what do you make of Ole with regards to his tenure at United, and do you think he's the man to lead us going forward? Do you think that we can find success with him?
No. And I say a flat no.
Yeah.
Because if you look at my Twitter profile and everybody that follows me on Twitter, they know that I'm Team Ole out.
What's your account? What's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter handle is Trochimulex. But so my thing about it is Ole, you're not proven. You're not a proven winner. You're not proven with anything. You came there because we needed a manager. We needed a feel good time after Mourinho.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes. Are we playing better football with Ole compared to Mourinho? I'd say yes.
Yeah.
You understand? There are touches that Rashford and them play.
Yeah.
We're playing better football.
Yeah.
We play football that's gonna beat Pep Guardiola towards the league title. Definitely no.
Yeah.
Definitely no. Do we have a manager that can get players over the line? You know, when players are that good, when you have a Pogba in your team, when you have a Cavani in your team, a Greenwood in your team, those players have already been proven that they are that good, but they need to be getting over the line. Somebody like Tuchel, who we just spoke about, has that ability to get those players over the line. That's all they do is a flip. No, we're not gonna win anything. The best that we can win an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
The league, nah, man. No.
I don't want to write Ole off.
Yeah.
Right. We need to. So United finished second last season. And the season before that, you know, so they went up.
Yeah.
You know, there's been improvement. So I don't think it's fair to write him off. Yes, he hasn't shown that he's actually a winner.
Yeah.
Right? But I think it's unfair to write him off. And the signings that he's done. He's got Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Like we were talking.
Yeah.
I mean, Jadon Sancho brings so much depth to the squad, so much balance and so much creativity, you know, and you know, Bruno has so much on his shoulders in terms of creating goals for the forwards.
Yeah.
You've got Jadon who's there to help out as well. And now he's looking for Varane to actually add to the defense and, you know, sync with Harry Maguire.
Yeah.
These are smart signings.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to sign him off. I think this season should be the season where we like, if you don't win anything, dude, what's going on now? Yeah.
Fair. However, my thing about it is that I would have had the same leeway, for lack of a better way, to say, okay, maybe if he had won the Euro, he was in the final.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about getting players over the line. You understand? You are at a Euro final. You're Pep Guardiola. You know how to motivate players. You know how to coach players into getting the win. You're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
And
it didn't happen.
But can I ask something?
Yeah.
So and United, this is my problem with the United, right? For me, it's also the players.
Yeah.
Are they disciplined enough? Because we always go back to the managers saying, you know, it's Ole. Are the players also committed to be like, you know what? I'm not going to drink Coke for the whole season. I'm going to sleep at 9 p.m. every night. But
you know, this is the thing, nah? And I'll come to you, Joey, nah? When it comes to football. The truth is, nah, the reason why we always go back to the manager is because his head is on the chopping block more than anybody. You know, it's difficult to just get rid of a player who's still got 4 years left on his contract. But we can fire a coach who still has 4 years left on the contract.
Okay.
Because you're responsible of a squad. We've given you the squad. Here's your squad. Manage it. Do you understand? At the end of the day, from a managerial perspective, leadership perspective, it's your role, your duty to get the players over the line. You know, at that time, we're not really looking at the players. We're looking at the decisions that you make. Yes, if he made better decisions with regards to substitutes, you know, with regards to his system, his structure, his style of play, and how he brings certain players into the game, then they lost the final. Maybe then we can point at the player and say, you know what, these guys, nah. Yeah. But the coach did everything. You know what I'm saying? So, swinging it to you, Toki, he had a point.
So I was gonna say that with regards to the coaches, to your question about discipline, you understand? When you enter a locker room of a Manchester City, you know that the buck stops by Pep because he's instilling that discipline. You understand? So and with him, it's about do as I say, but also do as I do. You understand? With Ole, does Ole have that stature to say, look, you're not gonna drink Coke you're not gonna drink Coke for the rest of the season? Does he have that authority? I think not. I think not. Does Pep have that authority? He does. And players listen to him. Yeah. You understand? That's why Pep has the magnitude to say, Aguero, you're gonna sit on the bench.
Yeah.
You understand?
Without flinching.
You understand?
Without and even
I say what I say.
And even when Pep Guardiola would substitute one of the star players or the key players, he's not there trying to give this guy some philosophical feel-good vibe. And that's it. Yeah. He'll put his hand out if he doesn't. Hey, dude, I'm still focused on the game. Yeah. So you need coaches who have a backbone. For me, Ole doesn't have a backbone. Doesn't inspire confidence. He's not a leader of men. Do you understand? It looks like they they bully him a bit in the dressing room.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to say, right? Everybody will wax. There's Ole stands, right? The Ole ends. Him and I are Ole out. So the Ole stands will wax lyrical about Ole and how the players are smiling yet again. But man, smiling wins no trophies, right? Secondly, Ole has never improved anything that Jose Mourinho had done at the club. Even with the points finish. Mourinho, when he finished second, he finished on 81 points, right? And he had more wins than Ole. Ole hasn't improved any of that. Ole has gone his 3 years. He's also spent his 300 million now with Jadon 400 million. Mourinho also spent his 300 million plus. So when you have a look at the comparisons, each manager has received the same amount of money, the same amount of time, but Ole has not bettered anything. Had he won the Europa League, he'd only match just one thing that Jose achieved, but he hasn't bettered anything. Do you understand? But we're still going to go with the fact that the players are smiling. Guys, there's no gold medal for smiling.
I promise you.
There is no gold medal for smiling. So personally, I just don't think he's the man, you know. And now that Manchester United signings are starting to look good and we're starting to acquire some really good players in the transfer window, I just think you need a man who can really lead those guys. You know, you need a man who can put his foot down. You need a man who's not afraid to take Bruno Fernandes out when he's not performing. Do you understand? Because at times, Bruno will, as much as he is our key player and he does well for us, sometimes he's the very guy who's killing us. Yeah. Maybe if we take him out, we shift another guy in as the creative player, and then we would do better. Do you understand? Also, we need a guy who's going to be able to integrate Adoni. There's no way we can have a world-class midfielder who comes from Ajax, who's sitting on the bench. He's not playing. The whole season.
No.
How do you do that?
That's my problem.
Because the crime will come when Donny leaves and he goes to a Juventus and he's playing well. All of a sudden it's like, but that was our player.
Lukaku
do you understand?
is an example.
Yeah, look. I mean, but I have a point about Lukaku.
Yeah.
But my thing with that is that is the thing. You don't inspire confidence, and also you're not leading anyone into getting the title with regards to Ole. You understand? That's why players like Pogba want to leave. You understand? If Pogba had a pick, okay, there's no other pick. So let's look at everybody else that was available at some point. Pochettino would have been perfect.
Yeah.
For Man United. Would have been the perfect, because also he knows English football. Yeah. He's been there. He has the budget now. Yeah. He's the guy.
Yeah.
So it's somebody that I would have wanted at Manchester United. You understand? But we have Ole, you know, so we'll.
At the end of the day,
he's on the wheel.
And the funny thing is, bro, when you mentioned Pochettino, I wanted Pochettino before Mourinho even came.
Correct.
As far back as that, because when you look at the model of Manchester United with regards to competing on all fronts, ticks the box Pochettino, right? Yes, I know at that point he hadn't won any trophies, right? However, how he was always able to get the best out of nothing.
Yeah.
At Manchester United, he actually have a transfer budget, right?
Exactly.
Secondly, the systems and the structures that he sets up, they always predicate for consistency and success, well, relative to that club. You look at his time at Southampton, what he did there, he stabilized them. He went on to Tottenham, stabilized them, and produced world-class young players. So, at Manchester United, he'd also tick the box of bringing through the youngsters through the development. He ticked that box. So I saw a man who ticked each and every single box. He's also very stern.
Yeah.
His word is his word. That's it. We spoke earlier on how, you know, he was able to just disregard Soldado, a world-class player at that time with a high pedigree. He brought Kane in. He was able to bring in Dele Alli. He's able to stand on his word.
Even with regards to that, speaking to what you're saying, even during the UEFA Champions League final where he had to bring in Kane after there was a hat-trick scored by a player from his team, you know, where he said, okay, I see you scored a hat-trick, but we're going to the final.
This is still a system.
My player is going to come in. Despite the hype
I see what you did.
And those are the kind of things that obviously didn't go accordingly where he lost the final against Liverpool. However, those are the things, that is the authority that we spoke about when it comes to Tuchel, where he says, it's my way, and whether win or lose, it's my way.
It's my way, that's it.
So that's where they're.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you on that he would have been the man, but our man right now is Ole, so...
For the next how many years?
We just have to...
For the next
Yeah.
Foreseeable future.
Foreseeable future.
next foreseeable
But anyway, let's have a look at the squad, right? So we've touched on briefly Varane, we've touched on Sancho, we've touched on Kieran Trippier. What do you guys make of the squad that Manchester United have? Do you think, when you look at the other squads, do you think that squad can actually compete with the other squads which are vying for the league title?
I see them as contenders, right? I mean, they finished top 2. We can't write them off. I do see them as contenders. The only thing I would love for them to do, like you said, can you please play Donny van der Beek? Like, please play Donny. I don't get it, right? But yeah, like I said, I see them as contenders, especially with, first of all, Jaden is confirmed, so he's definitely in the squad.
Yeah,
adds so much depth, adds so much creativity, right? But the problem now comes in where Pogba is like, I want to leave.
Yeah.
And you build a team around him.
Yeah.
So what now? And who's there to? Are you looking for any replacements? And who's there to replace Pogba?
Yeah.
And can you actually sign a replacement right now?
It's tough, and it goes back to what Klopp was saying about inspiring confidence. If you're a coach who inspires confidence, no player wants to leave.
Yeah.
Right now, Ole would turn around and look at Pogba and say, "You're not leaving.
Yeah.
You're going to play for Manchester United. You're going to sign that new contract." And you go and do that. Coaches have done that. That's when you have power. Ole struggles to pull Ole struggled to pull Nathan Ake. Like, after the game, it was one of the last games in the past season, towards the end of the season. They played against Bournemouth. We'd beaten Bournemouth. He's on the field, he's shaking the players' hands. Then he goes up to Nathan Ake and says, "Keep performing, we're looking for a left-footed centre-half."
And then he didn't close the deal.
2 weeks later, Nathan Ake signed for Manchester City.
Across the city. City.
Where Nathan Ake won't even play at Manchester City. He's just a squad player.
I love United fans.
Do you understand what I'm saying? He's a squad player, and he's not even the backup centre-back, because that's Laporte. Do you understand? And there's Diaz and there's Stones. The three of them have to fight it out for 2 positions. Nathan Ake is not even in the conversation. How do you not close the deal on a player who you can actually bring in and he could actually fit into the lineup? So it's things like that he can't. I feel like he's the problem with regards to the squad that we have. He doesn't inspire confidence. Can a manager actually procure certain players? You as a manager have to attract players. We look at what Poch has done and how he's building at PSG. He doesn't have to say much. Those players will come because they see Pochettino, they see what he's done. Yes, he's a coach who hasn't won much, but by virtue of the fact he's got this amazing character and all his players speak well about him, you want to play for him.
With regards to Man United and the squad, if you look at our team, from the goalkeeping situation, David De Gea has not been the David De Gea of 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I love David De Gea. I want him to stay. You understand? However, there's a time where David De Gea needed to be out and freezed out for quite a long period, even though he was freezed out, but it needed to be for a longer period for you to then say that I'm doing this thing without you, whether you're in or out. You understand? When you look at the defense that we have, Harry Maguire doesn't have support.
Yeah.
I was wrong about Harry Maguire. I've said it on Twitter and any other public platform that I didn't want him in my team. But I'm eating humble pie now.
Yeah.
But he needs support. But he's not the support that he needs, because he's quite fickle. He's very fragile.
Yeah.
He's not gonna last the whole season.
He's also erratic. He's got an error there. It looks like he'll give away a penalty. At the 90th minute when we're winning 1-0.
So with regards to that, from the defense already, you see that, okay, there's talks of Varane. I would like to have Varane in the team just for stability. You understand, moving forward. Lindelof, total no. I don't know. It's a no for me. No.
He looks out of his depth.
Lindelof, no.
He just gets bullied easily.
So you look at that. You're going into midfield. Where Bruno is literally carrying the whole team now. He's been fatigued. If you looked at the Euro, he was fatigued, man. And people were saying, Bruno is a fraud. This guy played literally 2 seasons without rest. You understand? Or 1.5 seasons without rest. So these are kind of things that you need to look at where you're a manager. You need to be like, okay, cool. I'm making decisive decisions that are going to help me, but also help the team. And always not the guy.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with you guys on that one. So let's move from Manchester. We now go to Merseyside, Liverpool. So What do you guys make of Klopp's tenure at Liverpool so far with regards to the legendary status which he's acquired by virtue of the fact that he's won so many trophies and he's been able to instill that tradition and that confidence within the Liverpool side?
I love Klopp. I think he's quite lovable. You can't hate him. He's one of those managers where, he's my rival according to football tradition. But you can't hate on Klopp. He's the guy. He's the guy that broke his glasses, where a player broke his glasses and then celebrate. You understand? He's the guy. So I love Klopp. I love what he did at Liverpool since he came in. He told them we're going to win the league in whatever years they won the league. You understand? However, with regards to the team and what the current situation that they're in now, you look at how they lost Van Dijk and they literally lost the whole team. You understand? So it's speaking about, can you rebuild the game? You know? So that's what I'm keen to see with regards to Klopp and going forward with regards to the team, where you've had the high that you went to 2 Champions League finals consecutively, you've won 1. Can you rebuild from there? Because now you're no longer part of the big team. You're no longer part of the teams that are fighting for whatever title that is there. So can you rebuild from there? I don't know. He's done it before. We'll wait to see if ever he will do it again.
Yeah.
What's your take on Klopp?
I like him. He's a winner. He's very competitive. He managed to finish top 3, considering the team that he had. He had so many injuries. He didn't. He was forced to play other players out of position, younger players that we don't know.
18 different centre-back partnerships throughout the season.
Exactly, and he managed to finish top 3. For me, that's very impressive. He's a winner. He's very competitive. They lost Gini Wijnaldum. You're right. I feel like they need to replace him. He needs to be replaced. My only problem with Klopp is the fact that he only had that 11. He only had that 11. He didn't have a plan after that. Like we said with Pep. Pep could lose players and still add in kids and still win. You know what I mean? Nothing happened. With Klopp, it was just that squad. And then from there, he didn't have a plan. That was my only problem with Klopp. But I love the fact that, like the Liverpool culture, never walk alone. It's a team. Everyone plays together. Everyone wants to play together. So, yeah.
And also, it has that local football club thing. Like, it's not part of... So with Liverpool, and as much as it's an elite club, it's not like where your Manchester United is concerned, where...
There's no stars.
There's this... Like we saw with the Glazers, there's the Glazers involved. There's these people that are involved. With Liverpool, it's just a local team from Liverpool, where everybody feels like they are part of this team. And compared to other teams, where the teams in Manchester are no longer the teams your everyday team. It's all about stars and all about the money. It's corporation. When Liverpool, it has that thing, and Klopp is a big part of that culture. He has been a big part of that culture, where it's like, it's your next door team. You can just go play at Anfield. You understand? That's why a player like Alexander Arnold, where he's just a boy from Liverpool who just went in there and played.
So I love Klopp. One of my favorite coaches of all time, and I always say the true measure of a coach is how people treat him when he's at his lowest. And at his lowest, you got a contract extension. And the fans still love him, And
so the players are still there.
Exactly. So that tells you everything you need to know about the man. I think he's a very, very good coach. I just think that he has to tweak a few things. Because in the past season, yes, we speak about the injuries, right? With regards to the defense. But even the attack, it looked a bit legged. They lacked a bit of creativity, and teams have figured Liverpool out. They go to Anfield, they sit deep with the low block. They've got 2 banks of 2 4s, or they have 2 banks of 4 and 5, and then 1 striker, and it's difficult to then break them down. So to me, I just think he has to tweak certain things regarding his system, and with the signing of Ibrahima Konate, that could then maybe see him play a back 3, maybe then getting those wing backs a lot further up the pitch, closer to the box. That could tweak a few things if he can then get a player like a Nicolo Barella, a creative player from the midfield, and we could see a difference. For me, it's tweaking the tactical side, so that he's able to get those guys going. But what I will say about Liverpool is that I've got a very good feeling about them. I've got a very good feeling about them going into this season, especially Arnold. You know, when I look at Arnold in the preseason games and I'm looking at him growing his hair, you know, and he's bulking up, like, I just feel that he's going to come into full beast mode, especially after, you know, him not being able to go to the Euros by virtue of injury. Also, the conversation surrounding him, did he deserve the call-up, didn't he deserve it?
Even the ridiculing, I think.
Yeah.
It was some sort of a ridicule where, sorry to cut you.
Yeah, no problem.
There was a ridicule about him being, right, like is he a good player?
Yeah.
To be even in the squad,
yeah.
to be even playing in Liverpool, you know,
Yeah.
I think he's quite mad at it, and he's coming for everything. Like
yeah. So I think look, I've got a very good feeling about Liverpool, you know, subject to Klopp tweaking things a bit and then getting a creative player in the midfield, you know. Yes, there is Thiago, but somebody who will penetrate to the final third, you know, somebody who will be able then to assist through a different channel, you know. They're very good on both channels, on the left side, right side, but can we get somebody centrally who will create, not just a Firmino who drops in as a false nine, but somebody else to assist a Firmino? Then I think that they could actually compete. Where do you guys see Liverpool finishing?
outside of the top four. I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Virgil van Dijk will come back, but I'm not. There's something missing, man. I'm not seeing it. There's something that, because also I'm looking at it in the lenses of Liverpool. They're going unbeaten all those games at home, and you know that Liverpool team. I don't see it anymore. I don't see that Liverpool team where they'll go unbeaten for a long period of time. I feel like they're beatable now. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk will come back, and then maybe they'll stabilize a bit. Maybe they'll get somebody else to assist them. But I don't see them being the force again. I stand to be proven wrong by the season coming, but I don't see them. I don't see them top four.
I highly disagree.
Yeah.
So in terms of like the home record and stuff, we also need to remember that it was COVID, right?
Yeah.
No fans. Now fans are possibly going to be back. You saw it.
Yeah. That's
so,
big for Liverpool.
Yeah, that's my thing. So I see them up there. I'm putting them up there with City, with your Chelsea, because first of all, they've got the fans back. Now Anfield is back to being that home ground where they don't lose there. You know, whatever happens, they don't lose there. Miracles happen there, right? Second thing is the fact that they managed top three with a very shaky season, with a very weird formation, a very weird squad, right? The fact that they're adding a youngster to the squad, right? Granted, they lost Gini Ronaldo, right? But they're still looking for mids as well. And honestly, it's just, and you know, Gini Ronaldo, with all due respect to you, are very irreplaceable. But you know, but you can add someone to that system. You know what I mean? And with the forwards, come on, man. I mean, we have Sadio Mane. Who's this?
Mohamed Salah.
Come on, like it's systems are good, you know. And now Virgil back. I think I'm seeing that squad that demolished Barca.
Yeah, I think it's about Klopp has to reinvent himself, reinvent the squad, right?
Well.
However, for me, there's something missing, and the departure of Gini Wijnaldum, who says that is not a knock-on effect to the squad in terms of the squad's confidence, you know, coming into the new season. So hence I'm saying yes, they might surprise a lot of us, including me, who's saying they won't finish top four. But there's something missing about that team. I can't pick a point where it is, but there's something missing according to me.
And I would agree with you, you know, and I think it's more of a spiritual nuance, man. It's just the feel-good thing about them. That thing. It's not a thing that you can see with your eyes. It's just that thing that according to shot man, like something is missing. Something is missing. Like sure, all of them are there, they're lining up, but something. Like I don't see the same confidence and arrogance of when those guys were unbeaten. Those guys when they used to steamroll everyone.
You're scared to even play against them, right? And even when you do play against them, they'll score one, or you even score them first.
But still, you still.
The commentator would even say, but this is the way it goes. They'll come back. Like, they have that nature of coming back.
When Liverpool won the league that season, what a lot of people don't realize is if you look at their average formation on the pitch and how high up they were. Van Dijk and Gomez were literally sitting at the halfway line. They were in the opponent's half like throughout the season. except when they played against your Man City. But every other team, they were in their half and they just dominated proceedings. Everyone. Fast-paced rock and roll football, heavy metal.
I mean,
so
what they did to your team.
My team is in Spain.
Look at what in the Champions League. Look at what they did.
Okay.
So I just think that the biggest thing, I think, look, they'll finish, in my opinion, I think they'll finish top 4. However, I just think that he needs to add depth to that squad. It's very thin. Beyond that 11.
One injury now.
Yeah, one injury, it's like it's curtains, And yes, they've signed Diogo Jota, who came in last season. But I just think that you need somebody who's of a higher quality, in my opinion. Somebody who will give Mane and Salah a run for their money. Because even when Mane had a bad season, you couldn't take him out. Because he's still a quality player. Do you understand? But if you've got a world-class forward, when Mane's off form, that guy slots in. And to a certain degree, I think, with the world-class forward, to actually compete with those guys, it keeps those guys on their toes. And then they can't dip. If they do dip, they know there's a guy who's going to come in and replace them. Possibly, one could even mention that, Klopp, can you now get a number 9?
Yeah.
Maybe change your thing up. Get a number 9, and not Firmino overlapping
Salah coming onto the side from the right to the left.
Maybe that. So I think they finished top 4, but he has to tweak it up. He has to change things. I love Klopp and I foresee him being at Liverpool for a very long time,
obviously.
But he just has to tweak things up. So let's move on then to Manchester City. What do you guys make of
Man City?
In fact, take it from there. Pep Guardiola. Thoughts?
Thoughts
on Pep Guardiola?
A great manager, right? I don't expect anything from him other than number 1.
Yeah.
I think the lowest he's gotten was number 2, no? In the Premier League.
In the Premier League. Well, in his first season, finished 4th.
Okay, 4th, and then from there it's just 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 2. We can forget that season.
Yeah.
But
biased much.
I mean, he lost Aguero. I think that's the biggest thing right now. The fact that he lost Aguero and who's there to take over, right? And the rumors are saying Harry Kane, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But for me, even if Harry Kane doesn't get signed, there's this kid called Jesus. Gabriel Jesus. For me, perfect. It works well. He hasn't been consistent, but I think given enough game time, he will get consistent. Other than that squad is solid. I have nothing to the only thing I'm looking for now is babe, now you have to beat Chelsea. Now you need to prove yourself with Tuchel. And I think as competitive as he is, as tactical as he is, he's definitely looking for an answer.
So with regards to Pep and the mentioning of the squad, I think I'm speaking solely on the Aguero situation where Aguero had to leave. I think he needs to be replaced. I think I tend to disagree with you with regards to Jesus being the guy. I disagree. Wholeheartedly disagree. Because what Aguero brought to the team, it is not only the goals, but the legendary status, his persona in that team. He literally made Manchester City what Manchester City is as we know today. That goal in 2012 that ruined my life is essentially printed in the world record books. You understand?
Printed in the T-shirt for this season, actually. So on the back of the T-shirt, they've got 93 minutes and 20 seconds.
And they let him go. Oh my gosh, that's so sad.
You see what I mean? So I'm saying, look, that moment ruined my childhood. 2012, I was pretty young, but yeah. So with regards to Pep needs to go out there and sign Harry Kane.
Yeah.
He needs to. Yes, obviously, he doesn't really need to, according to but he needs that replaceable guy in the locker room that says Harry Kane will get you 25 goals a season.
Yeah.
Everything. He'll get you 25 goals a season. He's an English boy. Yeah. He comes with that English status. Fans love him. Yeah. So I think Pep should go out there and get Harry Kane. It's not like they can't afford him, obviously, with regards to everything else involved. But they need to go get Harry Kane. Yeah.
So, Pep, in my opinion, he's the greatest manager I've ever seen, in my generation and in my lifetime, especially with regards to how he keeps reinventing himself. and how he's come up with so many different tactical nuances that we've never seen before, But a big shout out to the grandfather, Marcelo Bielsa, because actually that is a man that Pep spends a lot of time with, so they deep in conversation. The inverting of the fullbacks, that actually came from a conversation he had with Bielsa. He was over at his house. They had a long conversation around the braai on fullbacks and how can we tweak things when it comes to fullbacks. But to put Bielsa to the side and speak about Pep, so I think he's the greatest manager. That's just my personal opinion, and I think he's peerless when it comes to his status. However, when it comes to the status quo and when it comes to the league, his biggest competitor obviously is Tuchel and Klopp. So which makes it for a very interesting Premier League season. I think with Tuchel and Klopp, they've got his number. They know how to defeat him. So I just think going into this season, look, there's not much that Pep has to change, guys. Pep is the complete manager. He's got the complete squad. So for me, he's just a phenomenal coach. It's just going to be interesting to see if he retains the league title, which is a segment I want to head into with regards to retaining the league title. But before we head into that, I want to ask you guys something, right? With regards to his rotation system and the squad that he has, what do you guys make of the rotation system?
I think it works for him because you need to look at how a team like Manchester City, it's a team of big egos, you understand? And it's a team of high quality players, big egos, high paid players, salaries that are huge, millionaires, in the team. So Pep Guardiola, him being able to then reinvent the system in terms of tweaking players, letting players rest, rotation system as you put it. It's a fact that it says a lot about him. It says, he's the guy. The buck stops with him, So he's not going to put, for instance, an Aguero there because he's won all these titles for Manchester City, rather. So it works for him perfectly because then he can then gauge the team himself. Nobody. I don't think anybody in Manchester City has a bigger ego than Pep Guardiola. I think he has the biggest ego, and this is a manager in a team of huge egos in the team. So I think it works out for him perfectly. It's a perfect storm for him. I think.
I agree with him, and Pep is known to not rely on players but create a system that works for all the players, right? So his rotation system works perfect, and like we said with the problem with Liverpool, where you're reliant on so many players, and then when one gets injured, the system is broken. Whereas Pep creates a system where, like, dude, I'm not relying on anyone. The system has to run itself. So whether an Aguero is there, whether someone's there, I can still go on. You know what I mean? So I think it works perfectly fine, and I like the fact that he created this culture where I know you are a Raheem Sterling. I know people love you. I know, but that doesn't mean anything.
You're not bigger than the team.
The philosophy, the philosophy. So he believes in creating a system and planting players into the system rather than the other way around.
And it has worked for him so perfectly.
Everywhere he goes.
Because I still go back to the ego thing, man. Like look at like a team like Manchester United. That is a team full of egos. Does Ole have
control of that?
Those He doesn't. But look at a team like Manchester City. How many egos are there? How many players are on big contracts? You're De Bruyne, you're Sterling. You're Aguero before he left. Those players are on huge contracts for them to even negotiate their own deals. But nobody in Manchester City is negotiating their own deal. Pep Guardiola has final say over everything, including who goes and who stays. And I love that about him. I love that about him. And the system he creates around that team.
Definitely. So, does he retain the title?
I think so, back to back.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say maybe Chelsea might come and steal it, but they have to prove it. So far they won the Champions League, yes, but I think they just have the team. That is the team. That is the team that anybody wants to have. But even the managers that want to have that team, they don't have the capacity to manage that team. You understand? And he's the only person that can. Look, I think Pep, with him not winning the Champions League, that's a topic for another day. But when it comes to the Premier League, he's the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't fault him. I can't fault him. I can't even call him names. He's the guy. He's proven himself. Because he's the guy. He's proven himself. So I think they will retain the league. I don't see anybody else beating them.
Yeah.
Chelsea might have a chance, but he's the guy that gets over the line.
Yeah.
He's the guy that gets over the line compared to
Yeah.
everybody else. You know.
So, to conclude this episode on the extra time segment, I'm gonna ask my two guests to give me their top 4 going into the next season.
Oh my goodness.
So, who finishes top 4?
Ladies first.
Oh wow. Okay.
Number 1?
Obviously City. Number 2, I'm gonna give it to Chelsea. 3 Liverpool and 4 United.
I think I might tend to agree. So I'll say City 1, Chelsea 2, 3 Manchester United, 4. I said Liverpool 1 and the top 4, right? So
Yeah.
I put them there.
No, but I mean you can change your mind.
No, I won't change my mind. So 4, I'd say maybe. I want to say Leicester. Maybe Leicester.
Yeah.
Here I am writing off Leicester.
I think that Leicester team has something. in it.
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers just needs to tweak a few things. It has something.
Yeah, it definitely has. And when you look at how they've gained experience, back-to-back seasons, not finishing top 4, what can't kill you will only
Yeah.
make you stronger.
Sure.
So my top 4, number 1, Manchester City, but I say they'll only win by a couple of points. Number 2 will be Chelsea. At number 3, Liverpool. Number 4, Leicester. I just don't see Manchester
I'm
United.
actually with you. Number 4 has to be Leicester, and then Man U like right under. I agree
So
with you.
that's what I think.
I
And
agree.
with Leicester and Manchester United, I think it'll come down to the last game on goal difference.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please do weigh in on this particular segment. Who do you guys think will finish top 4 going into the next season of English Premier League? So, Koketso, thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Bro, thank you very much,
Thank you so
Toby.
much, man.
This was yet another special episode of Disky Talk with Luolo, signing out.